Ghana now wants to haul Cyril Ramaphosa before the African court for, amongst other things, expropriation without compensation. In the most astonishing turn of events, two prominent spokesmen tied to the Ghanaian government are recommending legal steps against Cyril Ramaphosa personally, accusing the South African government of severe corruption, violating human rights, specifically those of Ghanaian citizens, and, very surprisingly, expropriation without compensation. In a national television broadcast in the West African country on Sunday evening, these proclaimed that it was time for the Ghanaian government to bring the South African president to justice. Kwasi Kwarteng, a senior Ghanaian government official who recently returned to Ghana from a visit in Cape Town, has condemned South Africa as a lawless state. Kwarteng, a senior member of the New Patriotic Party (NNP), the Parliamentary Communications team, and a former spokesperson for Ghana's Ministry of Education, has gone on the record, describing his encounters in South Africa with crime and police corruption as bizarre, even for an African country. He described how he misplaced his wallet during his recent trip and reported this to the South African police, and how the police proceeded to ask him for a bribe in order to help him. He noted that even after returning to Ghana, the South African police still continued to reach out to him, demanding a bribe. On the same television program, Kwarteng, along with another prominent Ghanaian lawyer and political commentator, Martin Kupebu, a public figure closely tied to the country's ruling party, the National Democratic Congress, recommended that the Ghanaian government take the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa in his personal capacity to the African Court of Human and People's Rights. They claim that Ghanaian citizens ought to seek reparations for having their property expropriated without compensation in South Africa. Stay tuned, because in today's video I'm going to highlight how this tension between South Africa and its former African allies are now truly reaching a boiling point on this continent. Historically speaking, Ghana has enjoyed particularly warm relations with the African National Congress. Under the leadership of Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana became one of the first independent African states to champion the anti-apartheid struggle, providing diplomatic support and a platform for liberation movements across the African continent. For decades, successive Ghanaian governments maintained the solidarity with the ANC's cause, viewing South Africa's liberation struggle as part of a broader Pan-African quest for self-determination. Following the end of apartheid, ties between Ghana and the ANC-led South Africa remained very strong, marked by frequent diplomatic engagement, cooperation within the African Union, and a shared commitment to Pan-African ideals and self-determination for African peoples. As a result, Ghana has long been one of the ANC's most sympathetic and historically aligned partners on the continent. In fact, during the reign of Ghana's first Prime Minister and later President Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana provided a safe haven for operatives linked to the ANC's militant wing Umkhonto we Sizwe. Ghana also provided diplomatic backing, sanctuary, educational opportunities, and Pan-Africanist solidarity to South Africa's liberation activists throughout the anti-apartheid era. ANC leaders, both those before as well as those after 1994, have often visited Ghana in the past, precisely because Ghana had such a long history and had so long ago already emerged as a major hub for anti-colonial, anti-apartheid, anti-Western and Pan-Africanist politics. Ghana is also a significant regional power in sub-Sahara Africa, and it has long been a major market for the South African exports from companies such as MTN, Standard Bank, Shoprite and the MultiChoice Group. It is widely assumed that Cyril Ramaphosa's most recent state visit to Ghana is intrinsically tied to his personal financial interests in MTN's operations in this country. Something he was also accused of on Ghanaian state television over the weekend.
Cyril Ramaphosa came back, he came to Ghana. He flew in, came to see the president, etc.
Yes.
Because, you know, he's a significant shareholder of MTN. So that one, he was quick to come here, greet President Mahama.
Cyril Ramaphosa.
Yes.
The president.
Yes.
Is a
so that
significant shareholder.
Oh, he's a significant shareholder
That
of
is
MTN.
documented.
So that one, he was scared that there will be reprisal attacks here. So quickly, he flew in to come and secure his own packets.
In this same program, the Ghanaian government spokesman Kwasi Kwarteng described South Africa as a lawless state where violence and corruption flourish. In the same vein, he even insulted South African black men by accusing them of being exceptionally lazy.
You see, these are people who are not working. Culturally, it appeared as though it's the women who were working to feed the men.
Yeah.
But when the black foreign nationals went there, that's not our orientation. Our orientation is that Prof will go and work and feed the woman that he lives with. So the women were now getting more attracted to the foreign nationals and leaving the South African men. So that even got them more angry.
And in an astonishing turn of events, Martin Kupebu, one of Ghana's leading lawyers and political commentators, then called upon his government to take Cyril Ramaphosa to the African Court on Human and People's Rights, based of course in Tanzania, in order to persecute him for, believe it or not, amongst other things, expropriating Ghanaians without compensation.
And then steps be taken to see so that those of our citizens that have come back, how can they get their properties back?
Yes.
Whilst they go to the African court to seek reparations, right? To get compensation, get their properties.
Because you have your investment there, all of a sudden, one day you wake up and then you have to leave
Absolutely.
all the property, everything you built.
That's expropriation. That's another way, you see, of expropriating the properties of these our citizens. Yeah, that's expropriation.
Kwarteng also accused Cyril Ramaphosa's government of violating the most basic human rights of the 297 Ghanaian citizens who were repatriated from South Africa to Ghana last week. He further accused the ANC of scapegoating foreign nationals such as Ghanaians in an attempt to hide their own governmental failures, claiming that the ANC never moved past fighting the apartheid government and now simply continues to blame all of their failures on somebody else. And then, towards the end of the interview, he reiterated that the Ghanaian government's patience with the ANC government is running out, and that the time has now come to take steps and legal steps against South Africa and specifically Cyril Ramaphosa for human rights violations. Astonishingly, accusations of expropriation without compensation are now coming from even the ANC's oldest and most loyal allies on the African continent. For decades, Ghana stood shoulder to shoulder with the ANC, championing the anti-apartheid struggle, and yet now, prominent Ghanaian political voices are publicly decrying South Africa as a corrupt and lawless country with no respect for the most basic of human rights. This should set off alarm bells in Pretoria. The recent criticism from the United States of America has been dismissed by the ANC as colonialist bullying. In fact, any criticism from Afrikaners or opposition parties is simply typically brushed aside as partisan politics in this country. But how on earth is the ANC going to deal with the reality that condemnations are now coming from other African countries with deep historical ties to the ANC and the anti-colonial struggle on the African continent? The odd reality is that this government's diplomatic isolation is far more advanced than almost anybody in this country really understand or realize. In a most recent video, we highlighted how fellow African Union member states are increasingly turning their back on the ANC, just like Ghana, making this not an isolated case. You can check out that full report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right here. And please do support our work and help us keep producing videos such as these by becoming a paying member of the Willem Petzer Group. Invest in us by simply following these steps on the banner below. Goodbye and God bless.